Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Summerhour. Let's get started with our top stories this morning, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. Vice President Kamala Harris will be paying a visit to Las Vegas this Monday. She and her husband are set to speak on the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that was approved by Congress yesterday. The White House hasn't released any details about the visit, but Harris is also scheduled to visit Denver on Tuesday. Over on the East Coast, President Joe Biden will be traveling to talk about the plan as well. An elementary school in Northwest Las Vegas is apologizing to parents after showing students a political cartoon. James Schaefer has this story.
Vasiliadis Elementary School garnered some parents' attention after a political cartoon video shown to students represented conservative U.S. Supreme Court justices as terrifying monsters and the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg as a superhero.
The Republican president started nominating new judges to the court. They look like monsters. Oh, they were.
The video was played in part of International Women's Day from the series Museum of Human History. In a Monday night letter to parents, school principal Paul Catania apologized and said school officials are making changes to the review process to prevent this type of incident in the future.
A bill that pushes for Nevada prison inmates to earn more is getting bipartisan support at the state capitol. This comes as a surprise even to the lawmakers who introduced the bill. The Review-Journal's Jen Ah has more on what both sides have to say. Jen?
Well, Renee, this proposed legislation would see that inmates earn at least minimum wage for their work behind bars instead of only cents per hour. The state's current minimum wage is $8 an hour. Besides earning well below the minimum wage, supporters of this bill say inmates leaving prison find themselves in poverty with no job and potentially no housing. Its prime sponsor, Democratic Senator Dina Neal, originally said she expected this bill would produce, quote, its own level of controversy. However, this proposal unexpectedly drew unanimous support from both sides of the Senate committee. Republican Senator Ira Hansen saying he agrees with, quote, virtually everything in the bill. For more on the story, go to lvrj.com. Renee, back to you.
And local hospital workers gathered Wednesday night outside Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center to remember those who have lost their lives due to COVID-19. The vigil was organized by Local Service Employees International Union. Clark County Commissioner William McCurdy spoke at the event.
I want to stand in recognition of the lives that were lost, but also celebrate the hard work of the healthcare professionals, the frontline employees that are helping us get through this pandemic. So, brothers and sisters, I am with you. I am standing in solidarity with you, recognizing the lives that are lost.
Now let's take a look at our local weather, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. For your Thursday forecast, a slight chance of rain and snow showers before 8 a.m., then scattered rain showers throughout the day. Some thunder is also possible. Partly sunny with a high of near 56 degrees. Isolated showers for your evenings with a low of around 41 degrees. For the rest of your week, Friday, we could see some more isolated showers, about 30% chance of rain. But for the weekend, we're looking at clear skies with highs in the mid to upper 60s, lows in the mid 40s. In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability, Governor Steve Sisolak surprised several small business owners by announcing that they had been awarded $10,000 from a grant program called Pandemic Emergency Technical Support, or PETS for short, including Antique Rose Florist in Henderson and Chef KP Creations in Las Vegas.
And I want to thank you for doing so much for so many Nevadans along the way and making it possible for them to continue. And we look forward to getting through this all together, okay?
In your health news, sponsored by 4M Dental, Love Your Smile Again. Even though thousands of COVID-19 appointments are going unfilled, state officials are not saying whether they want to lower the eligibility age group to 55 and older. Instead, they are encouraging all currently eligible Nevadans to get immunized. The state's playbook does not include a specific eligibility group for those 55 to 64. The next group to be eligible for vaccines would include Nevadans ages 16 to 64 who are disabled, have underlying health conditions, or who are homeless.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. With your sports update, I'm Leandre Fox. Golden Knights defenseman Dylan Coghlan had a hat trick, scoring the first 3 goals of his NHL career Wednesday. But despite his performance, the Golden Knights suffered a 4-3 road loss to the Minnesota Wild at the XL Energy Center.
Take away from this, I mean, my first goal, and I was lucky enough to get 2 more after that. So it's definitely a night I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, Cogs has got those offensive instincts. Going into tonight, we wanted him in the lineup for exactly the reason that you saw.
With this sports betting update, I'm Cassie Soto. Vegas Madness is in full swing, so here are the Big West and WAC conference tournament lines. In the Big West, UC Santa Barbara is a -14 favorite at Circa Sports over Long Beach State. Bakersfield is -3.5 against UC Davis. UC Irvine is -15 against Cal Poly, and UC Riverside is -5 against Hawaii. In the WAC tournament, Seattle is a 1.5-point favorite over California Baptist, and New Mexico State is -10 against Texas Rio Grande Valley.
In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy Clark County, Resorts World is getting a second wine-centric spot, and this one promises a secret drink menu. Clique Hospitality says it will open Gatsby Cocktail Lounge just off the casino floor at the resort. The lounge will feature vintage and rare champagnes along with a 360-degree bar and over-the-top effects with a champagne theme. Resorts World is set to open this summer and will also feature the first Las Vegas location of Wally's Wine and Spirits. In your entertainment news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a Palo Verde High School graduate has found his calling in voice acting. Ray Chase joined our Land Parties podcast to talk about his career acting in video games.
I guess 5 years ago, I was able to quit all my day jobs and really be able to focus on voice acting completely and not have to do so many audiobooks, which are really, really time consuming and difficult. It was anime and a lot of these Japanese games that I seem to have found a real foothold in.
You can hear more from Ray on our Land Parties podcast at lvrj.com/podcast. Well, that's all for today's 7 at 7 a.m. I'm Renee Summerauer. Remember, you can get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes with 7 at 7 from lvrj.com and the RJ mobile app. You can also find us on Roku, Apple TV, and much more. We hope you'll join us again this evening for 7 at 7 p.m. Thank you for watching.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.